Hi everyone, how are we? So this week I'm kind of on my own at the moment, but I'm back at Hammock Wood. Both Daniels are still away, so that's Vegan, he's up in Scotland, and then English Woodsman, he's going away for the week with his family. So I've come back to Hammock Wood because one of my subscribers has reached out and asked me to come and meet him for an overnight camp. So I thought I'd gladly oblige. So he's coming all the way from Barnsley up to site. So I'm going to try and find a nice little spot for 2 hammocks and a little fire pit. Now I'm thinking on the ridge, and you see my car park just up there. I'm thinking on this little ridge there's plenty of trees. There's a little fire pit just off to my left, and then we've got sort of a view over the field where the horses are kept normally. So yeah, I'm going to get my hammock set up, because what he's asked me to do is actually asked me to convert his hammock into how I've done mine. So I actually brought my bespoke or DIY hammock 2.0 with me. I'm going to get that set up. Look at that, not a thing out of place. Blanket where I left it, underquilt where I left it. Bob on. I think that deserves a thumbs up just on its own, doesn't it? Everything being where it's supposed to be. Right, welcome back everyone. So if you're interested, this is the gear segment element of the video. If you're not interested, you can go ahead and skip to this time here and see what I'll get up to next. But if you are interested, here we go. So this is the modified hammock that I've sort of come up with, and I've had a lot of positive feedback and comments on this, so thank you so much, really do appreciate it. But yeah, all it is I've cam snapped underneath the underquilt and the blanket on the inside, and it all just stays in one place and just makes it nice and simple to set up. So yeah, no sort of brand dropping. King Snowdon under blanket, the Yalangezu hammock, and then a Puffer Wolf blanket. I'll leave links to everything that I use and in the video in the description box below, and if you do click on them links and buy anything, it does help the channel out a little bit. It's an affiliate link for Amazon, so please click on them links and support the channel. So yeah, in there as well I've got the Flextailgear Zero pillow. It's like a contoured neck pillow. I've got the DIY phone holder that I've made, which is a Hammocks Ridgeline rip-off that I've sort of reverse engineered an old car broken one. Got my Phoenix CL26R. Underneath as my gear sling, again I've got a Snugpak tropical hammock that's been cam snapped, that actually acts as a protector going over this when I'm putting it away in the stuff sack, but acts as a gear sling. And I've brought with me my Snugpak Endurance, again modified to suit me. As you can probably tell if you're a regular to the channel, I like to modify gear, I like to tinker, I like to mess about, I like to make things simple, I like to make things easier. Above me I've got the Onewind sort of 12-foot rainfly tarp in the snake skin, ready to deploy. Not forecast rain, but we've had a little bit here in Yorkshire over the last few days, so back on stomping grounds of Yorkshire again, and we're getting a little bit of rain but not too much to top them reservoirs up. Right, I think it's cup of tea time. Just while the kettle's on, I thought I'd bring you back and talk to you about the different budget hammock setups, that series that I was going to do. So I've set the ball rolling this month with the money I've earned from YouTube. I'm going to go out and purchase the cheapest set that I can on Amazon. So that's going to be a complete mishmash of gear. Not looking at the brand, and not looking at any sort of names, not looking to support anybody on that. It's just literally the cheapest hammock, the cheapest underquilt, the cheapest top quilt is the way I'm going to go rather than a sleeping bag, and the cheapest tarp. So that's going to be the complete setup. So I've been looking and getting some research ideas from that. As well, I've also reached out to a couple of companies and just sort of see if they'd help to support this this idea, and a couple of them have said yes, so thank you so much for that. I won't name drop them yet, but some of them have sort of supported me, and I do thank you so much for that. But yeah, let's just wait for this to boil, and then we'll talk some more, eh? Get that, she's a good looking setup, isn't she? As I mentioned earlier, I'm waiting for Darren to arrive. I got a message around about 2:30 to tell me that he'd finished, or he was on his way from Barnsley. Time's knocking on a little bit now. What time are we on? 5 to 4. So he should be somewhere near as we speak. But yeah, what I want to talk to you about is he sort of reached out and says, are we alright coming to meet him with Wood? And it's not the first time I've met him. I have met him off camera before and had a full camp with him, but he wanted me to sort of modify the hammock, or his hammock, in the way that I've modified this one behind me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get all the tools and stuff out ready for when he gets here, so that we can start to do it. Because as I say, time's kicking on. He can be doing other things while I'm working on his hammock. I must stress as well that some of the companies that I've reached out to have said that they'd love to help. They're just not in a position to at the moment, or in this time of year, so I really do sort of completely understand that, and you'll probably get requests for gear all the time. But yeah, so we'll obviously keep you updated about anybody else that does sort of support me. But I will be looking at purchasing a lot of this gear, because if they're not able to send me gear, then I'm going to have to go out and purchase these items individually anyway, because it's something that I want to do for you guys. And maybe we could sort of talk about raffling some of these equipment off, so I can sort of not be out of pocket. But you know what I'm like with gear, I'll keep it and just keep it in the background, because that's what I do. So yeah, water's almost boiled on this cheap camping stove. Thought why not bring it, you know, we're at Hammock Wood again, the car's like 20 foot that way at the most, so why not bring all the heavy gear with me. Yeah, brew time. Just about getting a little boil. Let's get everything ready.
So we're just going to hook it up here for him to work on. Right.
Right, as you've just seen there, I've got a DD travel hammock and a DD underblanket behind me that I'm going to modify for Daz now and put up in the same way that I've done my my black and orange setup. So yeah, I'm just going to mark it up, and then I'm going to just show you a couple that I'm sort of putting in, and then we'll show you the end result at the end. Right, well, as you can see, I actually brought my bench mounted press with me, all, and I've just marked up with a simple biro. All I'm going to do, pass through there, straight through. I've already installed the reverse of the button on the die. Quite thick underquilt is this. Might take a minute to pass through, so I'll get that finished off and then bring you back. So there is like an additional ridge in the DD underblanket here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go a little bit higher, just to where the shock cord is. Pass that through like so, and just line this up on there. As I say, I've already put the reverse of the cam snap on there, and then voila, installed. So I'll just get the rest done. See you soon. Right, well, as you can see, I've done sort of an infield sort of job. I'm putting some cam snaps on the underquilt and on the travel hammock. Now, the travel hammock, if you're not familiar with it, has a secondary sleeve, so you can put an air mat in there. So all I've done is I've just put the cam snaps on the secondary sleeve and then leaving the hammock spare. But yeah, that's the underquilt done. Let's get his blanket installed for him. Right, well, it's 6 o'clock now, so it's taken me 2 hours. I've done the underquilt and I've done the top quilt in there now, so we're just going to figure out a way for him to get his bug net up, and then he's all set up in his new DD Oscar Outdoors hammock. Right, welcome back. So here we've got the DD travel hammock with under blanket all sort of set up, and then a very similar blanket to the Puffer Wolf one that I've sort of installed on Cam Snaps as well, just in all four corners for Darren. But yeah, that's full setup all done. What we've actually done as well is, I don't know if you can see here, these are some under blanket carabiners, and going here is just a simple paracord ridgeline. That's going to be a dual purpose one. It's what Darren wanted on here. So we've got a bungee pustic loop here, and then just one ridgeline going down through, raising up the bug net of the hammock, and then going to have the tarp resting across the top of it.
We've got some blacklist as well and TK Xpeti. 9.
Right, well, as you can see, while I've been messing around with the hammock and getting it all ready for him, Darren's actually been getting a good fire going, and now it's time to eat. Right, well, we seem to be all set up and tea's cooking really nicely. I've just turned all the chicken and give the pasta a quick stir while Darren was finishing off throwing his tarp up. So it's time for a drink, I think. So I had brought with me a couple of these, so the Captain Cook's spiced rum and coke, but then Darren's kindly brought me a little bit of whiskey as well in this little hip flask as a bit of a thank you for grafting on his hammock for him. So I'm going to add them together and just get a little bit tipsy, because why not? It's Friday night. I've not got the kids with me. Danielle's finishing work shortly, she's going home to the kids, so why not? Right, I'm going to pour myself a drink and I'll see you in a second.
Video's on the phone. You know, for me, my garden's massive.
Yeah.
I used to do them for, you know, growing stuff.
Yeah. I'm quite a keen gardener.
Eh?
Quite a keen gardener.
Yeah. Well, my missus is a professional gardener by trade. Some wood ones on it.
Well, Darren's away to bed now, so I'm going to say good night. I've still got a couple of drinks to have, and you just see me put a little bit of wood on the fire, but I don't want to make too much noise and disturb him. it's been a great night. Thank you, Darren, for your hospitality. It's been absolutely phenomenal. It's been a change of me not cooking while I've been out. Although I do enjoy the cooking aspects of my wild camping, it's been nice not to have to make it, and I never would have thought of having like southern fried chicken on a wild camp. So thank you very much, mate. It's absolutely appreciated. So for everybody else, I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. It's 10 to 8. I've slept soundly all night long. All this gear combined just is like the perfect sort of setup for me. It works brilliant. Just how I've set it, you know, the hang is my hang with the structural ridgeline set for me. Underquilt's obviously not budged, still clipped in all the places that it should be. The top quilt is still clipped on the bottom left and middle ones, middle left, middle right and bottom right, so it's not moved at all. There's just enough space underneath it, or just enough loft to sort of keep you warm. And even though I'm a wriggler, and I am a wriggler, none of it's come loose, so I'm not done a bad job with this. Oh. I hadn't heard much from Darren overnight. I saw his light on at about 4 when I got up, when nature called. And I thought, there's no way I'm staying awake at this time. So I jumped back in, and I had like another 4 hours. Just been walking up because one of the birds was decided to have a little karaoke session above my head. Obviously I ain't deployed the tarp, I've had no need. No rain. So I've fallen quite lucky there. Right, I think I'm going to get up, get dressed, get the fire going and start cooking some breakfast. So don't go anywhere yet, but if you are still watching, let me know in comments, and if you think it's worth it, big thumbs up on the video for us. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Look at this. It's my camping chair. Just them sort of collapsible aluminium ones. But the black thing is what I used to have for the backpack that I used to carry Ollie in. I used to go around him and keep him a little bit warmer in colder weather. And it fits perfectly on the chair. I'm just going to come back and tell you that I thought Dano was still asleep, and as I was just about to say it, he's emerged from his hammock. So as you see, I've got the fire going again. We've left the water out overnight in the big Zebra. There's enough there for both of us there to have a nice brew this morning. And it's Petromax massive pan. I'm going to cook up a little bit of bacon in that, I think. So brew time.
Swirl the oil around that.
Well, morning coffee. First one of the day is always best, isn't it? As you see now, we're prepping the Petromax pan for cooking some bacon, sausage, and I had brought some homegrown eggs, hadn't you? But I'm not feeling an egg this morning. But can't say no to a bit of bacon and sausage, can you? So I've had a quick chat with Aaron about his setup that we modified, and I've just watched him take the tarp down, and he said he's been sort of comfortably and warm. Any cold spots? No cold spots. So obviously where we've placed the underquilt and quilt in the hammock has worked well for him. The great bit is obviously the quilt he's got is it's not a DD one, but he does have a DD one, so we can just put a couple of cam snaps on that and stick that in there for him as well. It's worked well. You've seen mine, it's so easy to set up, just like literally plug and play. Get your tree straps up, clip, done. Right, I'm going to go because the smoke's getting me. Oh, in a bit. Oh, so we're just starting to rain a little bit in the air, nothing to write home about, but I'm just going to throw this away now. Right, well, as you've just seen there, that entire hammock setup all fits into this one compression bag there. So if you've not seen the video on this, please go and check it out. I'll flash it up on screen for you now and leave it in the description. But yeah, nice and simple. Everything's put away correctly as well. Nothing, I've not skimped anything. I've not just stopped, dropped and rolled. I've just literally put it down the way that I intended to put it down, and I've beat the rain. So bonus.
Funny, you know. No one at all.
I like to keep things simple as well, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
Still a dribble left in that, so you might be able to squeeze half a cup.
well, it'd be alright to put it pan.
Oh yeah.
Because what you're supposed to do with these, if you watch Simon, you know Simon.
Simon and Block in the Woods.
I don't know what it came with, I can't remember it. I think it was a cheese board, but I got, you know, so I really like cheese, different cheeses. And my missus bought me a cheese set, which is the base for the cooking stuff like that. And this came in.
Right, there you go. So leave no trace as always. So we cleared that entire fire pit, doused it with water and then just spread it out a little bit. That's us adhering to leave no trace. Right, well, as you can see, the rain has come, so I think it's about time to end this video. So if you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing by pressing this in the middle here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it.